On the previous edition of the technique guide, I went in depth about the Kaioken and gave you all the information that I could find on this amazing technique. And what I want to do here on this edition of the technique guide is follow up with that video by discussing the Super Kaioken that Goku used against Pikkon, aka Pikkon, in the Otherworld tournament, and discuss kind of the interesting and unique properties behind the Super Kaioken. So let's get to it on the technique guide. Now, this should be obvious to you, but this is a follow-up video to the Kaioken Explain technique guide. So if you have not watched that video, it is imperative that you watch that video before watching this one, because in that video, I explained a lot of the thorough dynamics and the inspiration culturally behind the Kaioken, and all of the information about what the Kaioken actually is discussed in that video. This video is going to be focusing specifically on what makes the Super Kaioken unique and different from the traditional Kaioken. But if you're watching this video without having knowledge of what the Kaioken is based on that video, you might be a bit confused, so check that one out before watching this one. As I said in the Kaioken Explained video, the last time Goku used Kaioken in the original manga created by Toriyama was against Frieza. After that, Toriyama chose not to use the Kaioken for the remainder of the Dragon Ball manga, because at that point when Goku discovered what the Super Saiyan transformation was, the Kaioken really became obsolete. However, that did not stop Toei Animation from incorporating the Kaioken into not only the Dragon Ball Z movies that came out after the Frieza saga, but also the Otherworld Tournament arc, which was a 5-episode filler arc that takes place after the Cell games in Dragon Ball Z episodes 195 to 199. And in the Anoyoichi Budokai, the Otherworld Tournament, we saw for the first time ever the result of what happens when Goku uses both the Super Saiyan transformation and Kaioken in unison, and that is the Super Kaioken. When Pikkon was first introduced in the series, in this arc, he was pretty much built up very strongly as being one of the most powerful warriors of the Otherworld Tournament and a serious rival to Goku, including a guy who might actually wind up winning the entire thing. And so to face off against Pikkon, aka Pikkon, Goku, knowing how powerful he was, had to figure out a way to increase his power enough to be able to land a blow on Pikkon, who really was faster and stronger than Goku at the time. Obviously, just a few episodes before this, we saw Gohan unleash Super Saiyan 2 and kill Perfect Cell once and for all. But Goku at this time did not know how to tap into Super Saiyan 2, so he couldn't do that. Instead, his sort of cheat code, in a way, if you want to call it that, his alternate method of getting an increase in power was to use the Kaioken technique. Now, we must clarify for those who may be confused, Super Kaioken is not the Kaioken with Super Saiyan on top of it. That's not how it works here. Instead, what it is it's the result of Goku transforming into a Super Saiyan and then activating the Kaioken. So it's the Kaioken stacked on top of Super Saiyan, not the other way around. And yes, there is a big difference, which we're going to get to here in a moment. Now, with the Super Kaioken, Goku was able to even the playing field in his fight with Pikkon and deliver some huge shots to the guy while he used the Super Kaioken. Now, this concept was not in the original manga, as I said earlier. It was one that was exclusive to the anime story and the anime filler arc. But, interestingly enough, we saw a version of this in Dragon Ball Super when Goku used Kaioken Blue. However, I will make a video on that in the next technique guide, the third part to this trilogy, which will be about Kaioken Blue. But a lot of the same ideas as far as what the Super Kaioken is are very similar to that. In fact, in Dragon Ball Super, the old Kai mentions that using the Kaioken with Super Saiyan is impossible and very lethal because of the intense emotional turmoil that the Super Saiyan transformation creates from within the mind and body of the user, and thus Goku would have problems controlling this, which goes back to what I said in the Kaioken Explain video about how the Kaioken technique is a fusion of mind, body, and spirit. They have to be in alignment, and when you're in the Super Saiyan form, a rage-based form, it becomes very difficult to be able to control this and keep yourself mindful while being focused in battle. Now, why am I talking about this? Well, there's a reason why. Because a lot of people in the fandom for years have wondered, okay, if Goku is using the Super Kaioken, the Kaioken is a multiplier. It doubles and amplifies your strength, your speed, and your senses. Would that not be equal to Super Saiyan 2? And the answer is not really. And the big reason for that is because of the fact that Kaioken is unstable, especially with Super Saiyan. It's funny because Dragon Ball Super explained this decades after the episode in Dragon Ball Z with the Super Kaioken, and yet it makes perfect sense. Obviously, Goku could use the Kaioken to power up his Super Saiyan body to get close to achieving the power that Gohan had in the Cell games. But remember, first of all, and we've discussed this before, in the Cell Saga, Super Saiyan Gohan, even before going to 2, was stronger than Goku. That's the first thing you have to realize, is that full power Gohan still was more powerful than full power Goku. And even though you could make an argument that Goku got a Zenkai from dying, that could be a possibility, and that Goku's body was more stable in the afterlife, that all makes perfect sense. We still know that Super Saiyan 2 Gohan in the Cell games was an absolute monster. The big problem with Super Kaioken compared to Super Saiyan 2 is the entire stability and stamina problem. Kaioken burns out your body. Kaioken damages your body. We saw it in Dragon Ball Z. We saw it in Dragon Ball Super. Kai explains in Dragon Ball Z, way before Super, that the Kaioken has those problems, that it can really create an adverse, torturous effect on your body. So let's say Goku were to use the Super Kaioken on Cell, hypothetically speaking. Could he have beaten Cell? Possibly. That is a possibility, but at what cost, number one? And number two, could he have been able to really land the finishing blow, considering that Cell knew how to regenerate, and that if Goku put all that power into a big Kamehameha to really blow up Cell the way that Gohan did when he killed Cell with that level of power, would it have actually worked? Would it have actually gotten the job done? Leave a comment down below and let me know what you think about this, because it is up for debate, but I feel like it wouldn't have worked purely because the Kaioken would have put too much stress. It would have been too taxing on Goku's body, and he could only have maintained this for what, seconds maybe a minute at most, before Goku just burned himself out and lost the power. So Super Kaioken might be a shortcut to getting that kind of power, but if it's only temporary for just a few seconds, would he have really been able to beat Cell, who we know had the most incredible stamina of any foe they had faced up until that point? It's tough to say, but also we can't forget how much the Otherworld Tournament made a jabroni out of Cell when he went to the afterlife, which that still bothers me to this day. I don't like the writing there, but you could always use that in an argument as well. The point is that, yeah, you can go either way with it. You really could. I could see both sides of the debate here. It's just that no matter which way you slice it, Super Kaioken is still way too unstable and way too dangerous compared to Super Saiyan 2, which has zero drawbacks. When you hit Super Saiyan 2, there's nothing to worry about. So Super Kaioken looks cool, gave us some great moments, but it's not quite Super Saiyan 2. With that being said, I'll put an end to this video, and next technique guide, we will be covering the Kaioken Blue, and we got some stuff to discuss on that one. So thank you again for watching, and I'll catch you then.